Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance, purpose of the first appearance, so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as we stand here this morning, I presume that you're innocent of these charges. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove these allegations beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. We'll let you know when your next court date is, and if you're advised that you have an absolute right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. I'll solemnly swear or affirm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Yelena Alicia. Right there. Morning, miss. What's your date of birth?
5/1996.
All right, I have two charges this morning. One's a battery being domestic in nature. The other is a misdemeanor battery. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint an attorney from the Public Defender's Office?
I'm an attorney from the Public Defender's Office.
Very good. I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
Your Honor, I'm not showing any history.
Okay. All right. And young lady, I have an address for you on Satin Leaf Run in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. And does Jaleel Acevedo live there?
Yes, sir.
And is it Zulikia Santana also live there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I'm doing externship.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set your bond at $100 on each count. That's a total of $200. Condition of those bonds, however, is that you'll have no contact with Jaleel or Zulikia. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact them through any social media. You don't go where they live, you don't go where they work, you don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting them, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if they want the contact, so if you answer your phone and hear either of their voices, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see either of them, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that they cannot drop the charges against you. That is not a decision they're allowed to make. Either or both of them may go to the State Attorney's Office and request that the charges be dropped. But that decision belongs solely to the Assistant State Attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges have been dropped, you should assume they're not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you until 4 p.m. So that if they wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as that address on Satin Leaf Run is concerned, as long as either of them are living there, you'll have to stay someplace else until we get this case resolved. You can go by one time to grab your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. But to accomplish that, you must contact the sheriff's office first I'll meet you there with a deputy who'll stand by while you pick up and get your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 10th of August. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Rebecca Arndt. Morning, Miss Arndt. What's your date of birth?
8/13/84.
Rebecca, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. The bond on the warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Rupi on the 10th of August. Public defender is going to come see you before then, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Ashley Kennedy. Morning, Miss Kennedy. What's your date of birth?
12/16/87.
Kennedy, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause also for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Well, I already have Miss Casey. She's representing me with the case that actually caused me to violate.
I'm with you. So I'll point the public defender.
Is there any way you can like hold my violation until my case is over with you, or?
Yeah, that's not how it works, unfortunately.
Okay, I thought I would just ask.
Right? No, yeah, you can't win if you don't enter. What I'm going to do is I'll appoint the public defender's office again on this one. I will move this one to the 2nd of August, which is where your other case is.
Thank you.
Public defender is going to come see you. I'm going to leave the bond at no bond, unfortunately. So the PD will come see you before August 2nd, and we'll see if we can't get both your cases resolved then, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Dania Thompson Castillo. I miss what's your date of birth?
12/29/72.
You're here on a probable cause arrest for a violation of probation. Looks like you were put on probation in Pasco County and being supervised here. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. There is probable cause for the violation. The bond, of course, will be no bond. You're going to have to go back to Pasco to deal with the violation case, so we'll let Pasco know that you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. It does not take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me. We'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes. Can I ask you what the violation is for?
Sure. The offender was instructed to use the 800 emergency number as she left the home, and the offender did fail to carry out this instruction by failing to report leaving her home at any time on 7/13/18. Also violated Condition 6 by failing to remain confined to approved residence except for 1/2 hour before and after approved employment, public service, or other activities. The offender was away from the approved residence on 7/13 without prior approval.
Okay.
Lonnie Brewer. Morning, Mr. Brewer. What's your date of birth?
1/22/92.
All right. So this morning, Lonnie, we have the warrant out of Polk County. It's the judge that signed the warrant, found probable cause for a VOP, and set your bond at no bond. I can't change that. We'll notify Polk immediately that you're here and ready to go. Give them 5 days to come get you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Taylor Contino. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/3/98.
Taylor, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. Apparently, you failed to appear in his court on 2 counts of grand theft and a battery. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender. I already had a public defender.
Okay. We'll continue the appointment of the PD. Bond on those warrants is no bond. I can't change that. What's the soonest we can get it back in front of Judge Toner? Yeah, because this is out on the 17th of August already. It's getting back sooner.
So there's no way you can give me a bond on that at all?
I can't give you a bond, Taylor, but I'm going to move your date up. So we'll get you back in front of Judge Toner as quick as possible, and he can look at your bond.
Thank you on that. Thank you.
Let's do that. With the 20th? All right. So the bonds are no bond. I'm going to leave those the same, but I'm going to move you up to July 20th. That's Friday. Public defender will come see you before then, and you can see if Judge Toner will revisit your bond, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Randy Gibbs? Oh, right. All right. Let me know when he gets down. Jonathan Jackson? Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
8/20/70.
Jonathan, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the PD?
PD.
I'll appoint the public defender. And I need a Judge Merritt date. There you go. The bond on the warrant, Jonathan, is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date to the 13th of August. Looks like they told you the 17th. We'll have you back on the 13th, and the public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Thank you.
Thomas King. Mr. King, what's your date of birth?
2/18/77.
Mr. King, I have two charges this morning. Actually, this is a warrant signed by Judge Scaglione, and he found probable cause for two charges, a grand theft and a dealing in stolen property. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State, what can you tell me?
Sir, if I could ask,
Hang on a second.
these charges were brought in on October while I was in Pasco, and I bonded out on them. Is that bond still effective?
You didn't bond out on these.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay.
It's the craziest thing in the world for you to stand there and argue with me. This warrant was never served. It maybe got missed, and it may be some mix-up, but I promise you never bonded out on these, because this warrant just sat in the system since last fall until last night when it got served on you. So there may have been other issues, and there may have been issues exactly like these issues, but this one hasn't been taken care of yet. So hang on a second. We'll set you a bond, okay?
All right.
I'm seeing multiple failure to appears, one out of Citrus County in 14, Hillsborough in 14, Pasco in 14, down in Tampa 14. I'm seeing a probation violation reference in Pasco County in 2002, but I see a battery, no disposition in 98, but I don't see any convictions besides a PTI battery in 97 and a 14 impersonation with no disposition out of Tennessee.
Okay. And Thomas, I have an address for you on, pardon me, Greenbrier Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
I was only there for like 6 months, and then I got incarcerated. Been incarcerated since.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I don't.
I'll set your bond at $1,000 on each count. That's a total of $2,000. I'll have you back the 17th of August. If you get out, make sure you go see the PD, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Pardon me. Andrew Morant. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
8/17/95.
Andrew, I got a warrant for you signed by Judge Merritt. He found a probable cause for a violation of community control. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on the warrant, of course, is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date to the 13th of August. Public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mark Mullins. Morning, Mark. What's your date of birth?
01/25/59.
All right, Mark, this is a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. Apparently you failed to appear in front of her on a charge of driving on a suspended license. Mr. Larison, is this something you could resolve today?
Judge, my
Please.
understanding, he failed to appear, but he went to the clerk's office to pay so he could get his
Okay.
He thought it was an and/or thing. He failed to appear yesterday. They arrested him at the clerk's office. Hopefully he had paid it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, hang on. We'll find out. Hold on, Sam. Did you manage to give him the $236 yesterday, Mark?
No, I went to go pay it, and that's where I got arrested at while I was paying it.
Okay. Okay. Hang
I
on.
mean, this is the fourth time I've been to court. It was simply because I didn't have the money to have insurance on my car.
Right.
This is spent license.
So as we stand here today, your license is valid?
My license is valid. I went to court. I showed Judge Ruby my license is valid, and then she said I had a $236 court cost. No coming back to court. I went down to the
okay, well, what would have happened the day that conversation happened, Mark, is that you would have signed for a piece of paper that said to come back, or it said, I'm sure it said to come back or pay. But all of that,
totally misunderstood.
Hang on. We're going to help you out, all right? Because it sounds like you were here to pay, and that's good news. So here's what I'm going to do. And obviously you got other issues too, but we won't even worry about that. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance this morning. So that you can pay for your clerk's withhold, okay? But now hear me well. I'm going to also set you for August 10th in front of Judge Rupi. And I want you to go even if you've gotten your clerk's withhold so that they can understand that you took care of everything, all right?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the only way I make sure you pay, because I don't know if you're going to pay or not. Lots of people tell me things, and then the directions get piled up, and they think they're on their way to the Y, and they wind up at a strip club, and the money's gone. And so the only way I find out that you paid, or that she'll find out that you paid, is by you showing back up in court on August 10th. Then they'll look in the system, and they'll see you got your clerk's withhold, and all will be well. All right?
Yes, sir. August 10th.
All right. Very good. Ryan Williams. Want to sir, what's your date of birth?
12/9/87.
Ryan, I got two charges today. I got a burglary with a battery and a witness tampering, both being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State what can you tell me?
I'm seeing a battery in 2016, disposition guilty out of Brooksville, a aggravated battery that was dropped in 2015, to appear out of Hernando in 14, a driving with a license suspended, disposition guilty in 14, out of Hernando County. I'm showing probation violation out of Hernando County in 07, a disposition guilty for a marijuana possession in 2007, a resisting officer in 2007, disposition guilty both out of Hernando County, a disposition guilty for possession of cocaine in 07 out of Hernando County.
All right. Ryan, I have an address for you on Shane Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
All my life.
Okay. You have a job these days?
No, sir.
Set the bond at $5,000 on each count. That's a total of 10. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Chardonnay Badger. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Also going to hold you up until 4 p.m. So if she wants to serve you with an injunction, we'll know where to find you. I'll have you back in court on the 17th of August. If you're able to bond out, make sure you contact the public defender right away. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Randy Gibbs. Okay, so I assume he's in custody on this order to revoke bond, and that's what's going on, and he's back in court today. Wow. Okay.
He's up in Toner's court.
Right. All right. And so, Randy, I don't really think you needed a first appearance, but here we are. Obviously, Judge Toner revoked your bond, and you're going to see him today. Do you have a lawyer on this case? Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Public defender?
Public defender.
All right. So we'll continue the appointment. And you'll be upstairs today, and Judge Toner's going to do whatever he's going to do, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Jonathan Graham. Want to sir, what's your date of birth?
1/11/1883.
Charges retail theft. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Showing a 2004 out-of-state disorderly conduct with no disposition, and that's all, Your Honor, that I'm showing.
Okay. Jonathan, I have an address for you on Kentucky Avenue in Newport Richey. Is that where you live?
I have a new address, Your Honor.
What's your new address?
12226 Birch Street, Brooksville.
Okay. How long have you been there?
3 months.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Construction.
All right. I'm going to leave your bond at the $500. I'll have you back in court on August 10th. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Stephen Norsworthy? Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
9/12/93.
All right, Stephen, I got, I think it's 4 of them. 4 warrants out of Hillsborough County. In each case, the judge who signed the warrant found probable cause for a violation of probation, and in each case, set your bond at no bond. You can't change those. We'll let Hillsborough know you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. If you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me, all right?
All right, if anybody can know what the violation report says?
What's that?
Anybody can know what the violation's for?
No, I don't have any information because they're out-of-county warrants, Stephen. I just know that there's a warrant.
All right, thanks,
All right,
sir.
thank you. And is Ryan Rivera here today? Okay. And Ryan, your date of birth again?
286.
Okay. So they brought me more information regarding the stalking charges, the 2 counts of stalking, so now I can find probable cause for those charges. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000 on each of those, so that brings your total bond on all 3 counts to $3,000. Also with the condition as to those 2 charges that you have no contact with Vicki Kreider and Shauna Adams. Did you hear me explain no contact this morning?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. All those charges will be back in court on the 8th of August. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.